Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I need to go away from the microphone. Today we will do the last presentation of this year. Here in front of me is the third top pilot, Vyparina. And also he has some support of his brother. They are traveling on the cones around together, competing, and they also know a lot about how to keep the glider in good condition, how to keep the glider always in the proper way, in check condition. Do you do also the checks in Slovakia?
Yes, yes.
So maybe the best is that I give you the mic and you speak. What do you do, what you don't do, and
Okay.
what we can do.
Okay, thank you a lot. Good evening, everybody. As first, pardon me my really bad and poor English, but I will try to be understood. In last time and in last year we have really big step in paragliding world, and now we are flying with really high performing wings compared to a few years ago, and as well why we have so good gliders now. This question, the answer is that we have really a lot of new technologies implemented to our gliders, and gliders are more complicated. They are using a lot of new things. I mean, some reinforcement, some like shark nose, some so on, you know. And as well, we have to keep our glider much, and we have to care about our glider much more than years ago to keep our glider in really top condition, because nothing is for free in our sports. So if you will take care about your glider for 100%, your glider will tell you thank you. So something about this I would like to explain you in this presentation. Just a moment. I have to look.
It's true. I know. I treat her happy. You give her a good night. But you know it's a Skyman.
I take it both ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Times to times, some pilots asked me and Stefan that they found them gliders are slower, the gliders are not so good performing as same gliders from other pilots. Why it is possible? Why is it possible? And very often we can find some solutions or some answer for this question. One of reason why it's that your glider is just out of trimming, how we call it. It means that in last years we have gliders with a few attachment points and with less lines like before, and the results of that is that the lines are moving much more than years ago, and as well during really thermic conditions is tension on lines really different. One line is tension by power, for example, 50 kilos. One line is tension for 5 kilos. And after a few hours, you can find your glider like out of trim. It means that real lengths of the lines are different than original one, more than tolerance from producer. It means in normal it's more than 1 centimeter. And when you have such a glider, your performance is going down, of course. It is first reason. Then you can find it's very easy that your glider was okay on the start. When you bought this glider, everything was okay, and then really slightly is changing characteristic of the gliding. Glider is slower, is more stable, and but unfortunately is not so fast, not good performing. At the end, when you come to the competition, you compare with the same glider, and you are beaten. So, and then it's time to take the glider and make new trimming, to find some check center which is provide this. And second reason is that take care about the glider is not good. For example, in new gliders we have really a lot of reinforcements inside. This foul ribs and so on. For example, reinforcements are very important, especially when we are flying on full gas, because the reinforcement keeping shape of your leading edge. And if your reinforcements are in bad condition, you are losing of performance as well. My advice is as well, don't keep your glider in a really warm condition. It means when you finish your flight, you don't just put your glider in your rucksack and then take the rucksack after 1 month and go fly again. When you come at home, you have to open the glider with your concertina bag and put it on the floor. Is much is the best for this glider, just to be on the floor. It's caring about your glider is as well very important thing. As well, some advice about avoid fly in rain, because rain is for some gliders really danger. The canopy can go to shrink, and as well humidity. When you get the humidity in your glider, it's really difficult to dry your glider as was before. It's a look like that, but if you take your glider and you will put it on the scale, you will find, for example, 5 kilos. After drying, for example, you landed in the water. Then you dry your glider, and then again you will put your glider on the scale. You will find not 5 kilos, you will find 6 kilos. And But you think your glider is dry. No, it's a long time to make your glider dry. Don't fly acro as well. For acro we have special wings, and you can have some problems with geometry and as well with foul rips inside. As well you can get something like propeller from your glider. It's like this. Maybe you understand what I mean. And the result of these things is again losing of overall performance. Before your takeoff and during packing, it's really important to check your lines. Sometimes you can find that it's a little bit damaged. For example, lines, unshielded lines, if it's damaged only a little bit, it can cause more than 30% of tension. This line, so be careful about it, especially if this line is on main A roads. It's very easy after big collapse to damage all the lines after that. And to keep your glider in top performance, it's very good if you check your geometry after first 20 or 25 hours. Even in first 8 or 10 hours, it's geometry moving most. For example, on some glider, on my Enzo, I have found after 8 hours different 2 centimeters. And it means if you have speed travel 10 centimeters or 12 centimeters, 2 centimeters, it means 10% from the top speed. It's a lot sometimes, especially on competition wings. So it's not happen when you have a glider with Kevlar lines, shirted, but especially when the glider are using Dynama or new conception, new generation gliders, which has only few lines, and the tension on these lines are really powerful. It can really very easy happen. And for example, not only on the Enzo, we found, for example, on other normal ENC gliders, ENB gliders, after 20 hours, 2 centimeters is like a normal, I can say. It's nothing special, but of course the producers are trying make the lines and some combination of lines, Dynama and Kevlar together to have very stable this geometry. For example, Ozone has 100 hours inspection interval. 100 hours. It means from the safety, it's okay. This glider doesn't danger, but in terms of top performance, this glider, it's really different thing. So if you want to be really ready to win and really ready to have the best glider and have a success with him, you need check your glider and make trimming. For example, after first 20 hours, and then after every 50 hours. And as well, if you get a really big collapse or something like this, and you have some cascade after that, as well, my recommendation is make check after that, and not only lines, as well. You can find some damaged ribs inside, or something. Really, after big collapses, it can happen. So after a big collapse, you have to check geometry, check inside structure, check visual lines, and as well check these fingers. It means these attachment points, because these points can be damaged as well really easy after collapses. It's some pictures from the risers. Especially moving part of the risers should be really easy and quickly to be damaged like this. And be careful about this as well, because when it looks like this one, length of this line should be 1 centimeter longer, and you can as well protect this line by bow wax, no.
Bow wax. Bow wax.
It's some protect film for these unshaded lines, for the jak się powie cięciwa? For the arrows.
Cięciwa. Yeah, that word.
Jak? A nie, cięciwa na łuku.
So basically, for lines, it's a protective wax coating to lower the friction.
Protective wax.
Lubricate.
As well, be careful about your nylons. This story may all of us know this, that it can happen because imprint on site can damage your line. So if you are losing your O-rings, then you have to fix it. You can fix it as well by piece of ripstop or with something else. And be careful about fixing this screw. It's very important. It cannot to be loose. After when it is losing, it can happen something like this. What happened our friend 5 days ago? Like this. After spiral. It was happened in Slovakia 5 days ago. So use O-rings or plastic inserts. This plastic inserts is much better, I think, because this plastic insert is protecting the releasing of this screw. So as well, check your pulleys. Sometimes it can happen that this sharp edge can damage your speed line. And for example, it is from one Czech glider. Before we come here, I make picture. Be careful about these swivels. Sometimes these swivels can damage your brake line very easy. So times open the notch on the brake and check it. As well, be careful about fingers and these attachment points for the lines. On the left side is correct position, and on the right side is incorrect position. This position can take more than 30% of tension of the line. So if you have if you find some attachment points like this, you can very easy to put it on the correct position. Some few words about lines. The dynamo lines, everybody maybe knows it. Dynamo lines is different between dynamo and Kevlar. Dynamo is dynamic line, and Kevlar is static line. And producer are looking for some solution. Which line is better? It's really sometimes it's really difficult to find solution because dynamo is a long life line. It's really this line is it can be on the gliders maybe 400 hours. With nothing bad for safety, but it's moving. It's always moving, and this line have to be checked very often because it's moving like length is going to longer or as well can be shrink and to be shorter. But a very big advantage of dynamo is that can be very thin because it's not degradation of this material is really low compared to the Kevlar. Kevlar lines, especially this shaded one, are really stable. For a producer, it's a really good material if they want to keep the glider in a good trim, in a good geometry. But they are losing, of course, on the drag of these lines because these lines have to be really bigger one, and have to be much stronger than we need, because these lines are degradation really compared to the dynamo. I think 100% or 200% more. So when you have on A's these Kevlar lines, be careful, especially for these points. This is stitching, is end of stitching, and especially these points are weakest points on the line. Co się stało? Moment.
Karambol.
Dobra, daj na bok.
Nie, bo teraz jest chyba w edycji. Sen klikni dvakrat na tisno sličico.
Na kjero?
Tisto tam, ja. Ne na...
Ctrl Alt Delete. Ctrl Alt Delete. A? Za kva? Ni. Ne radi?
Ne radi. Daj na bok to.
Ok, party time people.
Dobro, daj na bok to. A ne.
Ok, sorry, zdaj je pa sam prezentacija.
Ne, a veš, ne bo lahko.
Because it's gone into edit mode.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Prezentacja Vyparina.
try shift F5.
Okay, just a second. So, shift F5.
There's still 42 pages to go.
Naprawdę się chyba nic nie zrobi.
Pusty jeszcze raz.
Nie da się napisać. O to program jest zapisany. A, teraz.
Dosyć ciasno. Dobra.
So this weakest point on these Kevlar lines is this red circle, and after tension test, when I make picture, you can see that it's really this point where this line broken, and you can take care about this as well. When you are take off, you don't keep the A lines. You just keep risers or mylons like this in this position, and really be careful about this point on your lines. You can save the line really much more. In modern gliders, we can find today as well this reinforcement inside the lines, and sometimes the pilots ask me, "What is these lines? Can I remove it? I cannot." Or yes. This reinforcement of the lines are really important thing, because the producer, as I told before, they are trying to use thinner and thinner lines, and weakest points is as well is always this point when it's connect one line to the second line, and for example, this point is 30% weaker than other parts. And if we are using this reinforcement, this point is very similar with strength like the other parts. So reinforcements in this part are really important. Never remove this reinforcement from here. When you have reinforcements on the mylons, it's only for this that you are taking to your hands this part of line. It's very used. When you are use it, you can damage this line a lot. So it is not necessary in this position. If you are using lowers, always, if you are take care about your lines, you can remove it. But it's better if this reinforcement is as well in this part. And as well, these knots can be on the end to be damaged. If you have these knots bigger, and if you are using some bad launch takeoff, always, not always, times to times check your knots, because it can be damaged a little bit, and if you look at that, it looks like only a little bit. But if we make stretch test, we will find that this poorest point on the line. So be careful about something like carrying the glider on the some stones or like this, if you are using these uncharted lines. Avoid as well the knots on the lines. You are losing as well really more than 30%. And this is on the brakes. We can always find something like, you know, you always release and take again 100 times per one flight, and then you can have something like spiral, and it is causing this, that your brakes are shorter, maybe 3 to 5 centimeters, and this not so big problem. Much bigger problem is if you get some big collapse, and if this line is released, can catch other lines and make some knot together with other lines, because it's like, you know, and take other lines, and then you can finish like me in Colombia. I have to flow all the task on both sides with this, and you cannot do with this nothing. I think you have to fly with this or land. So be careful about this spiraling of lines. Yeah, and I forgot, and does exist still one reason why your glider doesn't flying enough. Is performing not good, but it's not so many gliders like this, but this problem exists, and you can buy glider from produce like bad one, and we cannot to do with this glider nothing, and it's very difficult to beg this glider to the producer to make something. You will go from one check center to another check center, then you will fly with such a bad glider all the season, and then you will try to sell it to the next happy owner, and so on. So be careful about buying such gliders, especially. Some producers has no air conditioned production. They has humidity, other humidity morning, other temperature in morning, other temperature in afternoon. So that these things can cause big problems with all the glider, and if the producer doesn't have really good production, it's can happen that maybe more than 5% of the gliders are wrong. So be careful as well. How you can find it? You can find it by the if you look at the glider, and this glider has many shrinks everywhere. Is I don't know. You can see it easily that which one is nice and which one is bad. So, but sometimes even good producers can release shitty glider. But of course, it's up to you. So something about the trimming. Every producer provides this tolerance allowed to be on the lines, approximately plus minus 1 centimeter. But it is not rule. The tolerance can be different and on every row, and as well it's different from the type of the glider, and it is a quite complicated thing, because if you have a glider, for example, I can show you table when we are measuring some glider. This is the original one length of line. It means it's length of line from the risers, no, from the carabiners to the canopy. And this is measure it one on the left side, measure it one on the right side. Then you can find that it's one side is 9 millimeters longer, left side 4 millimeters, and here we can see symmetry. And we have to measure every one attachment point on the glider. I mean, if you have 50 attachment points on the one side, 50 attachment points on the left side, we have to measure 100 attachment points, and then we can see your position, on which position you have your glider. Then we are making the looping on the loops on the nylons, or loops on the cascades lines. Yeah, these loops on cascade lines and some another special things we are doing only with some special needles. And as well, it is not so easy that, for example, the 9 millimeters here is intolerant. It is, but here, if we have as well minus 9 millimeters, is as well intolerance. But it is not good if you have here 9 and here minus 9. So it is a more complex problem, and we are trying to play with this, and it's sometimes it is a lot of work. And this is some loops which we are using for trimming. If we need, for example, 7 millimeters, we can make loop this. If we need 1.5, if we need 2.5 millimeters, different loops. It's a single thing. So if some glider come to us, we write to the protocol which loops already has this glider after some check, and when the glider is going out, we as well write to the protocol which loops are this glider have now. And as well, after looping, we are measuring once again all the glider, and then we are checking every one line again. As well, we are using trimming loops in gallery, but it is only on special
occasions.
for special pilots. Yeah, it means if we have some procedures when we can set the gliders on plus minus 3 millimeters. It is possible.
What is the legality of throwing loops into your A-lines?
Sorry?
What is the legality of throwing loops into your A-lines in a competition like this? Yes or no?
For normal pilots.
No, for everyone.
No, for normal pilots, for a normal check.
Who's normal and who's not normal? We're all the same.
If you are,
Yeah, you're not normal.
for example, if you are flying with ENC glider, it's not necessary for you to do it.
No, of course, but why would, if you were at launch and you have 2 loops in your A lines. Are you legal?
Yeah, it is. If you have document that somebody did it in check center, and if all the lines are in tolerance, it is okay. So something tips from my side. For example, a lot of pilots are using these hooks on the speed system. I doesn't use it for many years because it can cause a few problems. One of these is, as you can see, that lines can go inside, and second, the reason is that this hook can go inside your pulley, inside the harness, and then it's really big problem. You have to use a knife or something to cut the line, speed line or something. To avoid this, I think it's maybe better, not for everybody, but for me, I am used for this, and just make a knot on the end of speed line and connect like this to the speed, and you will avoid these collisions. Sometimes I have to repair this shaded line, but only Kevlar. Okay. Maybe Stefan can show you instrument which we are using. It is. Here we are hanging 5 kilos, for example, because when we are measuring the glider, every lines have to be loaded by minimum. Some lines 5 kilos, some lines 3 kilos, so it depends. Here we hang the risers, and this is target when we are measuring with laser the length of the lines. And this information is going via Bluetooth to the computer, and is communication with computer.
Does producer define which lines you load by 3 kilos and which 5? Let's say on Inzo, I think you measured me everything on 5.
Yeah, in a new message from Ozone, for example, we get some new rules for measuring. Some lines have to be loaded by 5 kilos. Some lines loaded but 3 kilos only. It means that for example, A lines, main lines, we will load for 5 kilos, and tips lines for 3 kilos only. It's much better, I think. And some producers has them own servers like Skywolf, like Nova. We just open we get some password, and we can go into the server, and we can find every one glider, and they have as well some software which is calculating where we have to make some loop, and we can play as well with this geometry in tolerance as well. For of course in tolerance. So if somebody will come to me and tell me, Peter, listen me, this glider is so nervous, and I measure, or Stefan measure it, and then we find that its intolerance is okay. So, but we can intolerance make this glider a little bit lazy, bit more stable, and on the opposite the same. So I think it's everything from my side. If you have some questions, you can ask me. If you will know, I will answer.
Thank you, Peter, for a really nice presentation. Now we will do the task debrief. As usual, first time we do it with the top pilots. For the first task, I ask you Rividits to assist, then with Marko and Zauer. Today I will ask you, Peter, to come here to go through the task together. Well, Peter was actually the first guy who landed in the goal today, but he didn't finish the task. So maybe he is not the best one to
I think Mark will be much better.
This is the decision between you two.
Go.
Okay, Mark will come. Mark did really good today. He came into the goal 10 minutes in front of everybody. So let's check it out what he did.
Fly faster.
Nemško, ker se še malo pogovarjam.
Daj tu.
Yeah, so if we start from the beginning, today we had just 45 minutes time before start window opening. Did you think this way you need to start faster, or it was the same procedure?
Well, actually today I saw the shadow coming in, the cirrus, so I expected it to be really difficult to climb, so that's why I took off almost together with Primož, who's always the first. But today I thought like, ooh, he might be, for a change he might be right. So I took off quite with him and tried to gain altitude, but the day developed much better than we expected, so it was actually not really necessary, I think.
Okay, then we had a little bit different procedure for the starting cylinder, and I saw one group with lots of pilots about that launch and one on the hill, east or west from here. Which one was the best decision?
I would say, like, in hindsight, we know that it was better to go more to the right. What's it called, Daniel or something? To the Daniel. Because there was a cloud and some pilots really had super position for going into the cylinder. But I was talking to Primož about this, and Primož did not go there, and me neither, because Primož also said that this over there is very cyclic, so it could work, but it could also not work. Is that, Primož, you saw the same, huh?
It was half an hour.
Yeah.
So in half an hour it could die.
Exactly. Like when the cloud developed, it was quite a long time till the window opened. So it was like a bet. If you go there, it might work now, and it also might work in half an hour. But the surer bet, and I think that's why Primož and me stayed in the takeoff area, was to stay there and gain altitude there.
Okay, here on the presentation you can see Rok, Lotrich and Ležumar. I know for them that they took this another way, yeah. And they were in the good position at the beginning of the race. How was this first part of the race? It was easy to climb?
There is not much to say, because we were racing on the ridge. And we already saw that out there clouds were forming in the flats. So actually there I already was deciding to probably try the flatlands, because it looked promising. And then some others went there as well, so I joined.
Yeah, so here you can see the big difference between the pilots. Marko and Zauer, he decided to go straight to the turn point, and if you stop it a little bit, Primož, let's check it out. Where is Mark and where are all the others? He was a little bit lower, but in front. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah.
Actually, I did not use the turn point, the climb before going out to the turn point. I did not fully climb it out because if you have a climb before a turn point and you have the wind against you, it's not so clever to use it to full altitude because first of all the wind is getting stronger and you get pulled away from the wind. So usually I leave thermals earlier when I have to go into the wind because I expect other people to stay there and mark me the thermal for when I'm coming back. So I just take the turn point and with backwind I head back. It's just the opposite procedure when I have tailwind. When I have tailwind, I climb to the max and do the turn point then.
Okay. Here all the other pilots went back on the ridge. Most of those in the presentation Mark still is doing on the flatland. Did you do all the day in the flatland?
More or less like on the flatlands, and only at the end I had to go to the takeoff again because I was too low for the final glide.
Okay, so it seems that flatland was the key to the victory for today, huh?
I set the task.
Now the pilots are flying to the, Mark is flying to the last turn point, and yeah, now you went back to the ridge to get some more altitude and then go into the final glide. Yeah, Peter Vyparina is already involved. It is part of the game. Sometimes you won, sometimes you lose, but it's better that you learn how to win more times than losing, huh?
Yeah, the funny thing was I was not sure if I had won today because when I was even when I was in goal and Gasper was coming to me like, "Hey, you won?" I was like, "Sure," because there were so many people in goal, and during the race I really lost everyone. So it would have been no surprise to me if I had been 10 minutes late, to be honest.
Hi, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Mark is already in the goal, drinking the ball beer. Igor is still flying towards the ball, and now he will get the beer as well. Okay, Primož, now maybe you can open the folder photo contest. Ja, tam se premika s tim, popuščica, okay. Tako, ja. Še malo. Ne. Ali pa da ja, da je. You are familiar with these photos? I think this one was from yesterday, so let's go fastly up to the third one. You can continue. And we got some another ones.
Oh, the robot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Model.
We looked them yesterday, yeah? This is 10. Raining task yesterday. It seems we have only those here.
Gdje to piše?
Okay, and these are new ones. Let's check it out what we have here. This is Iceman flying over the plane. This is a real Conti. This is the trick why you are flying so good. Flying power. Ooh, nice altitude. launch. This one is again from yesterday. It was not so nice on the launch. This is, I don't know from which task, but I'm sure that this is the picture flying towards the starting cylinder. I was watching, especially on second task, it was a really nice image on the launch. All of you went to the starting cylinder. It was amazing for us to see so many pilots flying in the same direction. This one is also nice. Where it is? This is about Ajdoščina? Ajdoščina, yeah? This pilot is turned around, I don't know. Maybe he got some collapse. Yeah, this one is not. You should turn it to the right way. Yeah, this is the subject of this photo is first time in goal. Lots of Portuguese pilots did the goal for the first time in your flying career today. Huh? Come here, and all the others who did today first time in the goal, you can come here. You have, I have some other some prizes again for you guys.
A teraz czekaj, teraz jeszcze raz.
O,
And I still have some pizza coupons for the winners of today's task. Overall winner was Mark Mazauer. One pizza in Community Pizzeria is mine. Ian B. Primo Susha. He was second place overall today. Ian C. Radek Večera. Radek. In junior class, Rok Lotric, fifth position overall. Here it is. And female, once again, Adele Ponti.
Can I take Anita's thanks because she arrived first today, ever in Rome. And she
Yeah,
went to
sure.
the toilet.
Anita went to the toilet and she did the first time the goal today. Yeah, for sure. Here is the package for her. Anita, congratulations.
Anita nie chcę.
So, we are done for today for the presentations. I got a lot of questions. What shall we do for the next days? Because we all know that the weather prediction is not so good for the next days. So we will do like this. We will wait until tomorrow morning. We will check once again if there are some chances to do something tomorrow or not. And then we will place decision. If we see some realistic chance to do something, we will do it. Otherwise, we will announce prize giving time at 9 or 10 in the morning. And also the photo contest. Today we got also one more prize from Nova company. Also this nice harness will be in the prize giving ceremony tomorrow with lottery included. So today, maybe it is the last day, last competition day. We had a final task, and now we will do some party. We have the DJ here. I will ask him to start a little bit to see what he has. Yeah, nice. So in next 1-2 hours we can have some party. We will announce also some free dinner time for 5-10 minutes. So be here and have some fun today. See you tomorrow.